This video is created for educational purposes only and is not financial advice. All financial actions are your own personal responsibility. Before you start, make sure you understand the risks and are prepared for them. Hey, this is Simon. Glad you stopped by. I've got something that will lift your spirits. It's normal to have ambitions and a desire to grow. The main thing is to find the right starting point. I've been in the trading world for almost 10 years now, and I want to show you an approach you can start with. No pressure, no overload. There are no complex terms or promises here, only practice, observation, and understanding. In our community, everyone has their own story. Some mention that it's become easier to understand the market and they feel less nervous when making decisions. Others share how new skills have helped them free up time to dedicate to family, learning, or hobbies. And there are participants who share their joy from small but tangible changes in their lives, like being able to afford a long-desired purchase or a trip. The important thing is this: everyone starts by understanding the process, and then each person applies the knowledge in their own way. Today we have a trading session. I'll show you the techniques I use myself, and you'll be able to observe the process step by step. Let's go. Every day I show my trades in a live stream. It's completely transparent, no after-the-fact screenshots. Members of my community see not just the result, but also the thought process. Why I open the trade here and not there, and what I do when the market changes. Want to understand more deeply? Check out my trading community via the link in the description or the pinned comment. There we analyze the market in real time, discuss the logic behind entry and exit points, and I answer questions in simple terms without confusing jargon. This is a place to observe, try things out, and learn to think like a trader. And by the way, it's all accessible even from a smartphone, so you can connect from anywhere. Here's what one of my students recently wrote. Before, charts were just chaos to me. Now I at least understand where to look and how to think. And in the community, Simon himself answers participants' questions. The difference is not about talent, but about having a system and an environment where you can learn. The link is in the description or the pinned comment. Take a look, see what it's about, and if it resonates, join us. Sometimes I work from my laptop, sometimes from my phone. It all depends on where I am at the moment. Flexibility gives freedom, and that's important for practice. Today, all the necessary tools are already open and set up. The chart is in front of me, and I'm calmly observing how the situation develops. I see the movement on the screen is going up without sharp jerks or jumps. Everything looks calm and sequential. I decide to open a position in the same direction. I continue to watch what happens. When the chart moves smoothly and predictably, it can be a good moment to get involved and observe how the situation unfolds. Watch closely. I'm not just pressing buttons, I'm showing you the thought process. You can see why it's worth stopping right here, what the data suggested, and where to direct your attention next. The value is that you can learn to see the structure, not just copy actions. The more attentively you watch, the more you grasp the logic, and gradually you start to think the same way. I'm paying attention. The lines on the screen are behaving a bit differently. Sometimes such moments hint that something might be changing. Plus, the price is back in the zone where it previously stalled. I'm opening a position to the upside cautiously, without rushing. It's important to look not only at the moment itself, but also at where it's happening. The context can tell you a lot. The upward movement lasted quite a while, but now it seems less confident. There's a feeling that the direction is starting to shift. I decide to open a position to the downside, understanding that the movement might be transitioning into another phase. Sometimes after a long move, everything starts to change. It's not always immediately obvious, but if you observe calmly, you can spot such moments. The indicator is back in the zone where similar reversals have happened before. There's a reaction to the upside, and the lines confirm it. I'm opening the position in the same direction, observing what happens next. If a situation repeats and you've seen similar behavior before, that can be a reason to get involved and observe how it develops further. So what do you think of the trading? If you're watching this video, it means you're already interested, and honestly, that's one of the most important steps. I've noticed a long time ago, real change doesn't happen through motivational speeches and tons of theory, but through observation, practice, and feedback. That's why I created a community where everything's set up. I analyze the market live, participants ask questions, and we together look at what works and what doesn't. Everything happens at a comfortable pace without complex terminology, without expecting you to already know anything. You connect, you watch how I make decisions, you hear my logic, and if you want, you start trying it yourself. I personally participate in discussions, answer questions, explain where common mistakes happen and how I deal with them. This is not a recording or a course, it's a live process you can jump into at any time. If you feel this resonates with you, the link to the community is in the pinned comment. Go see how it works from the inside. I see that after the recent upward move, the momentum is fading. I decide to open a position to the downside, not expecting anything specific, but to see how the situation behaves when pressure is applied. Any movement can slow down. Sometimes it's a pause and sometimes it's the start of something new. The main thing is not to rush and remain observant. The price broke through an important level and pulled back slightly. Such pullbacks happen quite often. I'm opening a position to the upside, continuing to follow how the current picture develops. Sometimes a slight pullback can give you time to better understand what's happening. I'm not rushing, I'm moving along the situation. There was a confident upward movement earlier, but now the dynamics have changed. The behavior have become different, pointing downwards. I'm opening the position to the downside and continue to watch. Change in direction is not always obvious, but it becomes noticeable if you watch carefully and without unnecessary fuss. The chart was rising for some time, but then stalled. The price is no longer making new highs. The data started moving in the opposite direction. I'm opening a position to the downside carefully just to observe this continuation. If the movement loses strength and doesn't progress further, it might be a moment to reconsider what's happening. I see sequential downward movement on the screen. It's going steadily without jumps. The data behavior shows the direction is holding. I'm opening a position to the downside following this development. When the direction is sustained and doesn't raise questions, you can simply be alongside this movement and watch how it continues. That's roughly how I work every day, without rush, without guesses, without trying to predict the future. It's a calm approach, without overload, without pressure, without unnecessary expectations. Observation, analysis, decisions only when there's something to base them on. Everything is calm, live, and without complications. Join if you want to see how it happens inside the community. What are your thoughts? Trading is not about getting it quick, it's about sustainability. If you found it interesting to observe, if you want to understand how it works, taking it slow, step by step, you're welcome to my community. Here you can start from any level. Watch, listen, ask a question when you need to. Everything happens in real time. I personally analyze the market, share my thought process, and explain how decisions are made. The link to join is in the pinned comment. Take a look. Perhaps this will be the very step that starts changing your approach. No rush, at your own pace. Thanks for being here. See you next time.